I got me a new victim on the table, man. I got me a paint sprayer. Figure out what's going on with it. I hope it ain't a whole lot. See if we can't get this thing turned. If it's here, it owes me money. It's time for this to pay back. Get her kicked back on her side. I see here I got a Titan 400. So here on the side it tells me Titan Advantage 400. Gives me something to start with. I cleaned that ID plate up with this here old Riley's breaking parts cleaner. They will always want me to make sure that you know they are not sponsoring me. Are y'all happy now? I'm gonna go on and get my hose hooked up. All right. I noticed it's missing the return hose from the prime valve assembly here, so we're gonna be cautious of that. I got my little old paint sprayer set up here. I got my suction hose down in this bucket of water. Test gun locked on. No base, no tip. I just want to see, can I get some air bubbles moving through here? Ain't got nothing. Huh? Come on, loosen up in there, girl. Move that stuff. Burp it out. Burp it out. Come on. Come on, you devil. Come on. Come on. Move some fluid. Oh, that's what I want. Come on with it. Burp it out. You can do it. When I reach over in here and feel the suction hose, I feel it push and pull, push and pull. So I need to go in there and check in valves. Let's take a look down in there. I got some trash down in there. Let me clean that out. See if we can't just dump it out. Some of it's dumping out. But I don't know that I got it all, so I'm gonna push against that ball. Man, I got lucky on that. I think somebody serviced this bin in it. Don't look dirty, it ain't coated in paint. I think I just had the bits of trash suck up in it. Inlet valve assembly. That seat's reversible. And this would be the side I might want to try. Make sure my seal down in there is good. What happened to my little O-ring? Right there. Run around there. Seat that little washer. Let's take a look up in that outlet valve assembly. I refer to as a piston body valve, and I don't see anything in there. I still want to give the old girl a shot. I don't see any trash up there. I could be mistaken. Let's see about getting this old girl reassembled for another test run. Oh, you devil, you. What? Always look back down. I left. Peace out. Thinking about getting another run at this thing. I had to leave my spacer out. Yeah, boy. Get my big old thumb wrench back on her. All right, we're ready to give her another shot. Let's kick her on and see if we get any bubbles. And so far, I ain't learned anything other than the unit comes on, I ain't moving no fluid. I ain't seeing no appropriate bubbles. Big old Allen heads under here. We'll break them loose and pull the whole fluid section off. Oh, let's see if I can't just bump it down a hair. Slide him off of there. Yeah, well, we need to get out of the way. Ain't too bad. Clean this up. Let's get it opened up. Wonder if I can back that packing nut off right here. Well, it don't look too bad. Shows some light scarring on it. Nothing I'm concerned with. It's got to be a valve issue anyway. Here's my idea. I'm thinking on my outlet side of this system, the pressure ain't trapping. I think there's something up in this valve. I'm gonna open it up and take a look in this piston body valve, outlet valve. Pick a term, piston body valve for me. And I'm just gonna use the machine itself as a tool to hold it for me while I pull this valve apart. See what I get down off in there. Come on. I got the ball and the seat out, but there's something down in there behind the ball cage in there. What is that? I gotta get the little seal that seals the ball cage out. There it comes. Look at there, I don't even think I tore it up yet. I will. I keep playing. And now I can get this cage out. There's gonna be a piece out here. Piece of trash up in there. But that was on the outlet side of the outlet valve. So let me check these valves out real close. Make sure they're in good shape. Dun dun dun. Oh man, I'm about out. I'm a dog on your hide. All righties. Yeah. Clean the face of the seats up. See if I can see if something going on. It's a reversible seat also, so let me pick the best side and see if I can get some action going. I'm looking at the face of the seat and looking for any cracks, chips, lines, anything of that nature that would prevent this ball from seating on it. Also inspect that ball, look for any same thing, cuts or crevices. I've cleaned out the inside of this piston. There was a little bit of trash down, paint down here on the back side. I really don't see anything here to impede the performance of the pump, keep it from pumping, other than that piece of trash I found, which at the time I thought was on the back side of that ball cage. It very well could have been holding that ball off the seat. These units, you get the ball cage first, Jackrabbit. Get my ball cage down in there. Make sure he lands flat. Give her another try. Get my little sealing washer up in there. Y'all know I love this stuff. Just because I want me to drop on it. But I'd rather have that on there and have that rascal back out while it was running and get longer and longer and longer and go and drive it into the bottom of that foot valve. Inlet valve for some of you. I want to get it put back together and give it one more try with what we've went in and cleaned up and found. I want to get the piston back in. There are two packing glands in there. One's inserted from the bottom, the other's inserted from the top. I haven't disturbed them. I want to leave them there. I'm still doing my test right now. Those aren't pulled, and I don't see any cuts in them. So I'm gonna leave them in there for right now. That look good to me. I need to get that rod back in there, but got to be real careful because of the connection point at the top. You snag that seal in there and it's going to leak on you. That little tool right there is designed to go over the end of that rod. Get a little lube on here, and I just want something slick. I just want it to go up in those seals with ease. I just want it to glide by there. It's part of the assembly. My packing nut on the other side, make sure that's loose. I've got it started, and I'm going to drive it home. I'm going to go get my tool. It went flying. I got it. Get him lined up so he fits back in the pump. We can move on to the man glitter. I do like anytime I got two different metals, I want a little something on there I'll tighten him up when I get him mounted. Did I leave enough? Oh, barely. Okay, get it back off there. Now, I'm not trying to tighten this nut on the top down a tremendous amount. I just want to feel it seat. I just want to feel it pull. It's putting pressure on that upper seal and causing it to flare out and create the seal around the shaft. Too much information? All right, now, get her centered up, make sure I ain't fixing to boo-boo something. A little bit on each side till you get her pulled down, nice and even. How many times am I gonna put this rascal on and off today? I'm not sure I'm getting a good seal down there. I got my little rig set back up. I'm ready to do a test on it. I did install a line for the prime valve, prime spray valve. Run it all back into the bucket. I got me a painter's sock on the end. I don't want to suck up any little bits of trash. After I done went in there and pulled some trash out, I want to make sure those valves are clear and make sure there's nothing else going on in here. Well, let's flip her on and let's look for some bubbles in my bucket. I got fluid moving from the gun. I got bubbles. Now I've got the unit in bypass. I saw 2,000 PSI on my gauge. I got some restriction in that bypass line, so I'm gonna go in there and clean that out, but let's get it off of that. Let's see what she ultimately builds up to as far as spray pressure. Who's got a spray tip? I have a spray tip for you. Good God, woman!
How you doing?
Man, not too bad. You ain't out and about, ain't you?
I am on my
pilgrimage?
Pilgrimage is what I'm calling it.
Well, bless your heart. Now I'm back at it. So looks like everything's put back together. I got it plugged up. I got the prime valve in the prime position. Had to replace my old gun. It was leaking pretty bad, so I found this to work with to set up a test gauge. So let's see if we can get this thing to move some fluid now. I still got a tip in it. Let me take that out. Now it can free flow. That's my prime, but it's trying to trap pressure in prime. It ought to be flowing a little freer than that. I've already got fluid through the system. I'm gonna go ahead and take it off of prime so that now it doesn't feed through this tube. And let's just pressurize the system and check a few things. My needle's coming up and dropping just a hair. I'm gonna count that to hose swell at this point, because it's not a drastic drop. And while it's under pressure, I'm gonna check this return hose for the prime system on it, and I'm just gonna hold it up and look and see if I have a slow leak of fluid. I don't. I'm holding pressure, minus a little drop for hose swell under pressure. So that's good. The unit hasn't tried to cycle again. I'm gonna throw a fresh tip in it. Just give me a good idea, where's this unit cycling? $3,000. About 2,500. That's my static pressure. This is my spray pressure. As you can see, I'm cycling between 24 and 3,000 PSI. That's acceptable. I'm happy with that. Now, as long as my piston's staying steady, prime valve isn't leaking, the only thing I've got to really consider is look for any leaks, address that restriction that I feel I have in this prime valve assembly. So I'm gonna pull that valve assembly off. I've got to have some paint or something in there restricting flow. Turn it off and unplug it, and let's get that pressure off of it. Always release the pressure from the gun. Don't get in the habit of releasing pressure from your prime spray valves on any, I don't care what it is. I don't care, don't matter. any kind of pump. The prime valve isn't for dumping pressure. It's for priming the system and trapping pressure, not for releasing pressure. Use your gun. I've got a puddle of water up here. This lines up with a transducer, and there's a port right here that it usually comes out of, but I'm showing a leak right here. It's hard probably to see, but that's wet. I've got my hoses disconnected. Power's off, of course, unplugged. I want to get this handle off. I couldn't find my little old punch, so I got me a little old wore-out drill bit. Push that pin out the bottom. Take my side cutters and just kind of walk him on out. So with that pin out, I can now remove this cover assembly and remove the valve itself, which is simply a spring-loaded pin, a ball and a seat on the end of it. Don't remove it from this piece, remove the entire body. There we go. I got some trash buildup in that. That could very well be the restriction I'm cleaning out now. Let's clean this up a little bit. Like I said, the valve was holding pressure. I really think this valve was partially restricted and I wasn't getting the flow through the valve itself. We'll find out. Can you even see the trash in the end of it? I knocked most of it out. That little hole pushed me a little air back through the outlet fitting. Let's see what I get. I'm gonna put this back on and see does it change my flow to the prime side. I think we may have already got that corrected, and then we'll address this leaking transducer. There's a little copper crush washer right here to seal this assembly. Make sure it's in place. My threads look good and clean, but I am going to put just a little dab of something slick on the threads only, not on the seal, just a little something on the threads. Man, I do this on paint sprayers because A, it makes assembly easy. B, it makes disassembly easy because that grease getting in them threads, man, you're always going to have paint splatters, paint leaks, things of that nature. And if you can keep it out of that thread, man, you're so much better off when you're trying to do a quick repair on the field. I feel it. You know, with that coating of grease on those threads, it contaminates any paint from being able to cure in those threads, basically creating a Loctite situation. Just my 2 cents on it, put grease on those threads. I'm gonna keep doing it. When you install that, there's that hole that pin goes through. Make sure the rascal's pointing straight up, but mine's off just a hair. That pin got a little bit of a crook on the end of it. This is the little transducer or sensor. Essentially, it picks up on the pressure. This is pressurized and tells the electric switch, pushes against the electric switch, tells it when to shut off. With this paint buildup around it, I believe I've got a leak and I was getting some water buildup on the face of the pump. I'm gonna give it a little shot of my all-purpose, not sponsored cleaner on here. O'Reilly's, they've been gracious about continuing to accept payment for this product. I really do like it and I will continue to purchase it. What you gonna do about it, O'Reilly? Man, that 14 sure does fit sweet, don't she? I wonder if I can bump it out of there with this. Yes, sir. Paint off has a little weep hole here after I clean it off, so you can see that paint was here and running down. So this is my little leak. This is beginning to fail. We just had to stick a new one in. Yeah, I'm gonna clean that up. Let that blow out of there pretty good. Go. Much better. Right there. I don't know the part number for it right now, but I looked it up and I suggest if you need one, you look it up too. I'm gonna fish these old ones off. They're not broken, it's just, man, they've been on there so long. I want something fresh to create that seal up and clean this up. Let's get these off and do a quick cleaning. Good night. I think it was due. Yeah, as clean as I can get it. So I'm gonna go and get me a couple new O-rings worked down on there. And I can already tell thickened up, it ain't flattened out. Put a little dressing on them and install them. Silicone spray, that's what I'm just something nice and slick. Come on, this is gonna be a good fit, son. Oh, get this little old plate back up in there so that this snap ring or snap, clip, whatever it is, can go up in there and hold it in place. Wish me luck. A lot of fine talk. All reassembled. I got my spray hose hooked back up, my inlet hose and my little prime hose. We've hopefully addressed our prime issue with, there was a lot of restriction in this valve, I feel. Hopefully that straightened out. I went ahead and gave it a shot of grease up here on this drive assembly. Our new transducer in here. Let's just get a little shot of oil up here in the throat of that piston cup. Little oil cup there. It holds a little reservoir of oil to keep from paint contaminating the rod, causing scarring. And it lubricates the rod. Throw in prime. We're plugged up. We're on. Oh yeah, we're moving something. Let it bubble. I hope you can hear me, but man, I just want to say I'm getting good flow. And that's not even through the gun this time. I'm not running any pressure. So whatever we cleaned out of that valve did create much better flow. I have no restriction now. Flip it to spray. Before I wrap this up, I want to inspect. I want to look for any drift on this rod, on this side and on this side of the drive. What I'm looking for is when I let go of the trigger and I build up the pressure, it stops and it doesn't drift to the bottom and it doesn't drift to the top. And I like to test that on both sides of the drive. Stopped it on this side, it's not drifting up and down. Man, what's the odds I get it next time? There we go. I don't have any drift up or down. I like to stop it about mid-stroke. And here's the reason we do that. Checking the valves in it. Are they holding? Is the inlet valve and is the outlet valve in that assembly checking and holding back pressure? If it was the outlet assembly, that rod would have drifted upward. If I had a leak on that valve assembly on the bottom side, the inlet valve or foot valve, then that piston would have drifted to the lower side and I'd know where to go look for my leak. Pretty happy with this. That's a pleasant surprise out of that old paint sprayer, man. She ain't winning no beauty pageants. She's got some battle scars, but she tests out sweet. It's been tried and tested, but as far as it a good running machine, it tests awesome on the bench. Wish me luck in the market, folks. We'll see y'all next time. I got to go.